Hello everyone, Ted Fletcher with FMS Integration. So over the years I've seen different challenges when people want to update the PDI Wavestar branch circuit monitoring or BCMS from the default 20 amp rating to accurately reflect what breaker has been installed in that position. So if your software system that you're using to monitor that panel data doesn't have an option to go through and be able to actually set that, your other option would be to use the PDI branded BCMS software. That does require taking a USB cable from your laptop and plugging directly into the main BCMS board, not the display but the actual logic board, which is typically mounted on the inside of the chassis. Older models, there was no access port from the outside of the unit, so you'd have to open up the dead front in order to gain access to the actual circuit card. Newer style units, they actually put a USB access port on the outside by the display. That way you can plug directly in without having to open any covers. So if options 1 and 2 are not in your lineup, what you can do is you can use a third-party Modbus polling software. I like using Modbus Poll, so I'm just going to left click on Modbus Poll, open that, close the default, and then I'm going to open up a save file I have that polls the Modbus registers for the CT rating. So here, I'm just going to drag this down a little bit. You just need your connection information, so we can see our IP and then the slave ID. So if I come in connection, connect, so I have my IP already set inside here, click on OK, and then my slave ID is already set to 2. So we can see that our connection data matches. I'm going to scroll this down and scroll this up. I'm only going to do a few CTs for an example. So once this opens up, we can see that we have CT01 rating at 20, and everything's set to 20 by default. And then CT42. CT01 uses Modbus holding register 40136, and then CT42 uses Modbus holding register 40177. And these are different registers that you're going to read and write to versus the registers used to get the amperage data from the individual CTs. So my program's set to update this value every 30 seconds. So I'm just going to go through and I'm going to do circuit positions 1 and 3, saying that these are 50 amps. So I just come over to CT1. You can hover over the cell. When you double left click, it'll open up a little right single register box. So here we can see the value is 20. So I'm going to set that to 50. Once you put it in place, you can hit send. You can also go through, when you double click on the cell, I could type in 50 and then push enter to get that to update. So now if we wait, it shouldn't be too much longer, we should see CT1 and CT03 update to that 50 amp rating. So this will help clear any local alarms from the display based on the warning and critical limits by default. So here we can see that that's updated to 50 and that's updated to 50. Here, let's say CT2 and 4 are a 2-pole 30 amp breaker. So here I'll just go into the cell here, type 30, enter, got that updated. Then we'll do CT04, 30, enter. A lot of programs, even though they're set up a little different, most programs you can do write commands through. You cannot write multiples, and you can't force and tell every CT in one shot to update to 30 amp or whatever that value may be if you have all the same breakers racked in place. So here we can see that's updated to 30, that's updated to 30. So just wanted to show you another tool that you're using to monitor. It doesn't have the ability to update it, the BCMS, and if you can't easily gain access to the board using the PDI software, just about any third-party tool will allow you to write and update these. That way you can avoid local alarms from the unit's display. So I want to thank you for your time. Got any questions, feel free to reach out to FMS, and we hope you have a great day.